Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to give you a little bit more information about your Unit 1 project because I know some of you are probably anxious to begin. A few of you have been emailing me with your book choices for your independent reading selection. That's part of your Unit 1 project. If you'll remember, I asked you to choose a piece of young adult literature, fiction or nonfiction, published 2010 or later, for your independent reading novel, and you need to email me for approval of that. Let me just apologize now. My dogs are barking in the background, so my apologies. I'm going to lock them out in a minute. So for your Unit 1 project, you're going to first need to read that book. And I want it to be a book that you're reading for pleasure, for fun, that you might want to use to connect with a kid, not something that you're teaching in your student teaching placement. That's critical here. This whole first unit is about free voluntary reading or independent reading. And so I really need you to engage with that. After you've read it, you're going to create a virtual book talk. When you come to class this Thursday evening, I'm going to give you some information about book talks, and I'm going to model some for you, but I want to show you what I mean by a virtual book talk. So you can do that a couple of ways. You can use a website called Voicethread. Here's Voicethread right here. You can sign up for a free account. These are some voice threads that I've done. What I like about Voicethread is that it gives you, I don't want to show you that one because I'm book talking at Thursday night. It gives you the opportunity to include your picture as well as the different images from the book. It's going to take you a little bit to get used to it, but it's relatively easy. So this is a book talk that I did about a book called Chocolate.
You all have been talking a lot in this week's discussion board about
so now you can hear it. I'm going to stop that. So as I flip through, like here, this is this one right here. That's a book talk on this informational book. Oh, I don't want it to start. Here's one on a book called The Octopus Scientists, another informational book for adolescents. Here's one on The Untamed.
Here's another.
So this is a set of voice threads, and they are all about informational books. So what you don't see on there is my picture, but you do hear my voice. When you do it, you can put your picture there. And then people can also comment. So down here at the bottom, there's this little plus sign. People can click on that plus sign, and then they can make a comment, either using the keyboard, they could call it in, they could use the microphone, they could make a video comment. So if I wanted to write a comment, I would just type it in right here. Okay? And then the person who made this voice thread could come back and look at that comment later. Okay, so that's one option, Voicethread. The other option for you is a website called Screencastomatic. That's actually what I'm using right now to make my my video. With Screencast, you can upload a PowerPoint. You can it shows your screen, okay, and then you have the option of having your video right down at the bottom. So I can change. I can do it. Here's just me. I can switch to the screen plus me, or I can switch to just the screen. So there's several different options, okay? There is a free registration you can do. I have a professional registration because I use it quite often for my courses, but you can just do the free one. And then once you're finished recording your video, it allows you to publish it to YouTube, and then you can take that YouTube video and share the link. Okay, you have to make sure it's public. If it's not public, we can't see it. The same thing is true with Voicethread. Okay, so once you've recorded your book talk, you're going to go back into Blackboard. You're going to go to the discussion board, and right here where it says book talk links, you're going to create a thread. You can type your name or the name of the book right here, and then right here what I want you to do is put a hyperlink. Okay, so that means you're going to have to, so let's say I want to do this one. Here's my voice thread. I'm going to copy and paste that hyperlink, and I'm going to go back to my discussion board. I'm going to paste it right there, but you want to highlight it. You want to click up here on the hyperlink button, and it's going to pull up a window, maybe, if it's going to work for me. Doesn't want to work. I'm going to try again. There we go. Right here in link path, you want to type that in, okay? And then you insert it, just like that. So then it's a hyperlink. So your peers can come in and just click on the hyperlink. I have to put in a subject. Rather than, so it gave me an error because I didn't put in a subject. That means your peers can click on the hyperlink rather than having to copy and paste. That seems like a little thing, but clicking is much easier than having to copy and paste. So see right there, it made it a hyperlink. That's something that's really important for me. I really want you to make it a hyperlink, okay? So that's what you're going to do for book talks. Once you've done that, then everybody gets a chance to view the book talks, and then come back and have some discussion on here about the different books that everybody's reading. Okay, so that's part of your Unit 1 project. The other part of your Unit 1 project is creating a wish list for your future classroom library. I want you to spend some time browsing. Browse a bookstore, browse Amazon, browse your school library. Decide what are some books that you really want to have in your classroom library. And these are books that are intended for independent reading, not for teaching in literature circles or as whole class novels. These are books that you want to have available for kids to borrow and read. Okay, so think about the range of readers that you're going to be working with. They're not all going to grow up and be English teachers. They're going to grow up and do all kinds of things. You're going to have some below-level readers. You're going to have some on-level readers. You're going to have some above-level readers. You're going to have some who like fiction, some who like nonfiction. So start doing some browsing and then put together a wish list. There's a couple of ways that I kind of manage my own wish lists. So here's my Goodreads page. If I click on my books, I don't know that I've added anything here lately, but I have, currently reading. So I have this list here that's called To Read. These are books that I want to read. Okay, so that's something I could go in and look at. I will tell you, not all of these are young adult books. Some of them are professional books. Some of them are just adult fiction, like Gone Girl. I want to read that, but I haven't done it yet. So there's a lot on here. If you have something like this, you can use this as a starting point. Some people like to keep a wish list on Amazon. If you're an Amazon shopper, I don't even know what's on my wish list. Here's a book that I want to read called The Death of Expertise, The Campaign Against Established Knowledge and Why It Matters. Not a kid's book. I don't know that any of these are kid books. Oh, The Land of Stories is The Wish Spell by Chris Colfer. He's the guy, he played Kurt, I think, in Glee. So maybe you have a wish list on Amazon. Use that as a starting place. But with your wish lists, you're going to put title, author, year of publication, and then you need to have a 2 to 3 sentence rationale for why you want that as part of your classroom library. Draw on your knowledge of what gets kids interested. Draw on the knowledge you have of the kids you're working with. If you took children's literature as part of your degree plan, draw on the knowledge that you gained in that class, because I know your professors taught you what boys like, what girls like. We taught you about interest inventories. So think about all of that. When you have your wish list created, you're going to come back over here to the discussion board, and that's where you're going to post your classroom library wish list. If you'll notice, the instructions say please create a thread in which you copy and paste your classroom library wish list and the rationales. Please don't just attach it. Again, that's just more clicks than people want to go through to look. If you'll just create it in a Word document and then copy and paste it right there into the thread that you create, that'll make it easier for everybody. We'll talk about this a little bit more on Thursday. Remember, if you haven't emailed me your book choice for this Unit 1 project, you need to do so pretty quickly. I want you guys to get started, okay? Take care. I'll see y'all Thursday.